Sure, I'm Brandon Vietti. I'm the producer of this movie here. Yeah.
So, you have done some very dark work, things like Batman Under the Red Hood, and then you do something completely different here with something like this, Lego DC. What is it to you about the DC heroes that lend themselves to those different interpretations?
A good, solid character is going to work great, I think, in any medium and any kind of story, whether it's a comedy or a drama. So I think that's the strength of the DC universe. So many of the characters work great for them.
What's fun about going with a completely different take like this for you?
For me, it's great to kind of like put my head in a comedy world. I mean, I have to say, I've been super blessed to have the career I've had at Warner Brothers Animation, and especially working in the DC universe. One of the great challenges, I think, with dramas is to kind of pull it off. You kind of have to. Mr. Batman, Troy Baker. One of the really great challenges, I think, with the dramas is like putting your head in a dramatic place, and it can kind of affect you after a while. Honestly, like if you're thinking seriously all the time and thinking dark, and you're really having to think like a villain, honestly, because you're constantly plotting against heroes, so you very much have a villain brain. And yeah, I find that to be kind of difficult at times. Like for an extended period of time, thinking like a villain, I just need something light and fun to do. And fortunately, I've had a career where I've been able to kind of jump from something dark to something light, maybe back to something dark and then something light again.
Right.
And the DC universe has just been great for my brain.
Of course, there are some things that, some projects that balance those things very nicely. A little one that people seem to be talking about a lot right now is Young Justice.
That's true. It's been amazing to watch the internet response to the Netflix show.
That balanced a lot of humor with the darkness and jumped back and forth. What was so unique about the Young Justice experience for you guys? Because it's something that doesn't just have a passionate fan base, but clearly has very passionate creators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a dream come true job. It was my first job producing, and I'd worked on so many DC shows myself. I couldn't wait to kind of get my hands on one and really start doing some things that I had in mind to do with some of the characters. Greg Weisman, of course, somebody I'd worked with off and on through the years and had really admired. I got to work with him. It was great. All of his experience that he brought to the table, and obviously he's an amazing storyteller and amazing builder of characters and builder of worlds. So I think together we really kind of fed each other's interests because we had very similar interests coming into it, and we're pushing very hard to kind of push our characters into a place that we hadn't before and explore the DC universe in a way that we hadn't seen before. And so it was a very easy relationship getting to work with Greg and work together in building that world.
Right.
Yeah.
The response to the Netflix, to it coming on Netflix, especially with season 2 on there, has been, I imagine, fairly overwhelming.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, Twitter every day I'm watching, and to see all the hashtags to support the show, it's unbelievable.
So what are the hopes for Young Justice Season 3?
I don't know. To be honest, that's the best answer I could give you. I mean, I'd be happy to do another one. Greg would be. Phil Barassa, the character designer, we had all in a heartbeat come back to do a 3rd season. They have the powers that we feel they want to do that.
Is it kind of a drop everything kind of project for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that world. We were not done telling stories. We had tons of ideas for more seasons. Ready to go. So yeah, we would love to get back into it.
So there's a notebook sitting around somewhere that has Young Justice Season 3, maybe 4 stories already.
Yeah, Greg had been writing like sort of a Bible for the show and a timeline for the show, and he'd worked out all of our ideas into it. We had just from our season 1 and 2 pitching, we would create these big bulletin boards with 3x5 cards on them,
right?
And all of the story ideas, and we would kind of just keep sliding them around on this big board until they all sort of fit into place, and we'd crafted our story arcs for the season. And we did that before we wrote a single script. We worked out the entire season arc. And so, inevitably, there would be some fallen stories off that wall, and they would always land on the third bulletin board. And so that third bulletin board still exists. Greg still has all of those 3x5 cards with all of those ideas. And yeah, they're just sitting waiting.
All right, so keep watching it on Netflix, keep buying the episodes, buying the DVDs, and fingers crossed, right?
Fingers crossed, and thanks to everybody for the support that they've given us. It means so much to me and Greg and the entire crew that everybody seems to love that we made. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, sir.
We'll chat again up on the stage in a little bit.
Okay.